Okay everybody, next video I guess, and this time we'll talk about this very nice 2x2 secret piston door. So as you can see right here, you can see nothing, which is of course intended because it's secret, right? And when I put something in here, nothing happens, but when I take it out, the door opens. I can activate the door with a button there as well, or to close it I could just do the same thing here. Put something in, take it out again, and it closes. So, yeah, it's actually quite simple to build. Simpler than most people think, because most people, at least I feel that most people think that you need like very complex redstone to make it work, but in fact the only thing you really need is NOT gates. So yeah, that's quite easy. And yeah, let's start building it, right? Okay, so here we are in front of our wall, and yeah, you would make the wall of whatever material you want the wall to be, of course. And we have this tunnel right here, which is, well, the tunnel where we're going through, right? And when the door is closed, you want it to look like this, right? So what we do is we will dig in a 2x2 hole in each side here, so we only have the wall left. And then we want to add pistons. So let's start out with that. You place 4 pistons here, so they cover up the hole, and on the other side as well, and they are the outer pistons. I call them the outer pistons because they are on the outside. Pretty obvious, right? So here we have 2 inner pistons per side. And what happens is that the outer pistons will push the inner pistons into the middle, and the inner pistons will push the blocks here. So let's build that with blue wool right now, just for visibility. So when the door is closed, it will look like this. And when the door is open, well, it looks like this, right? And as I said, it's very simple. The only thing you need is NOT gates and a proper timing. So the problem that we have, of course, is that for closing the whole thing, the outer pistons need the signal first to push the things, the inner pistons and the blocks into the path here. And then the inner pistons need the signal to push the blocks into the wall. And when it opens, it needs to be the other way around. So the inner pistons need to lose the signal first, and then the outer pistons need to lose the signal, because otherwise the inner pistons would remain in the middle, right? And that's not intended, because they are supposed to be pulled away. So usually to create something like that, you would build something that's called an ABBA switch, but because of this contraption, we don't need that. It's all about timing. So first of all, we want to hook up the outer pistons. And what you do is you place 2 repeaters here, put them on full delay. Put 2 blocks here and 2 more repeaters here, and put them on full delay as well. Same thing on the other side, of course. Like this. And then you want to build 3 blocks like this. Redstone dust there, there, and there. And then a torch here, and that will power all 4 repeaters, which will then power all 4 pistons, of course. Same thing on this side, the 3 blocks, 3 redstone, and a redstone torch. You cannot use other tricks to do that. For example, you could do something like this. That would also power both pistons, but that interferes with the inner pistons for some reason. I don't exactly know why. Same with this contraption. It also doesn't work. I tried both of them, but for some reason they don't work, so you have to use this one, at least to my knowledge. So yeah, it's a bit more resource consuming, but there's nothing that you can do about it. At least nothing that I know about it you can do about it. So now the outer pistons are hooked up, and now we want to hook up the inner pistons. And the inner pistons are below here. So with this line we have connected the inner pistons pretty much. And we'll put another NOT gate here. So this is the third NOT gate. We have one there. This torch is one NOT gate. The other torch there, and this one here. And you can also already see the door is closed. Although we have not wired up the lower pistons, I'll explain to you in a second why that is. And yeah, you'll have to accept it for now. And now we wanna actually wire up the lower pistons. It's not necessary, but we'll do it anyway because of safetiness. So what we wanna do is we wanna dig down here like this, and then we wanna dig here, and where are we? Oh, that's too far away. So the pistons are down below here. So we're gonna put blocks here and torches here, and then blocks above that, of course, which will, for one, create the floor of the tunnel and also power the pistons, right? And then you want a repeater there and there, and wire this up like that. And you want a repeater there. That's just for timing, because we have these repeaters down here. They are necessary because otherwise we wouldn't be able to properly get into the torches here. And we are just putting that so we have the same delay on the top and the bottom. And now what we want to do is wire all these things together. And that's really simple. You just place 2 blocks there and 2 blocks there. Put redstone here, over here, to there, and connect that. And now everything is connected. Okay, I just noticed a little mistake, and that is that you can see that this redstone is not pointing into this block anymore. So when this gets activated, this does not get deactivated. That's just a very small mistake, so let's just put it like this. And then put the wire here, like that, and like that. And that works now. Now it's pointing into that, and now it should work. Okay, so as you can see, the door is closed right now. And when you wanna open it, we just need to provide a redstone signal to this line. So you just put a torch there for now, and you see the door opens, and when we remove this again, the door closes. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole door. I have a bunch of other stuff around that, which I'll show you in a second, but let's talk about the door for now, right? So this is how it works, this is how you build it. And why do you only need NOT gates? Well, the thing is, as you can see, these inner pistons have a smaller delay than the outer pistons. The outer pistons have this long delay on purpose. Because that's pretty much what makes the whole thing work. So now the door is closed, and when we want it to open, as we know, we want the inner pistons to retract first, and then we want the outer pistons to retract, and that's what's happening here. So when we are providing power to this line, first this torch goes off, and the torch is down below there, and that's why these pistons retract, the inner pistons, and then these repeaters lose the power because they have a longer delay, so they lose the power afterwards, a little bit later, and then they retract, and the door is open. But why does it work when we are closing? Because the inner pistons would get the signal first, right? No. The thing is that the line is just here. And that's the trick, because let's open it. So it's open right now. And when we are removing this line goes off, and this line goes on first, as well as the torches down below there. But that doesn't have an effect because the pistons are below this block and not below this block. And same on the other side. So that's why this thing gets powered, but the pistons don't receive the power. And then, a little bit later, these things receive the power. They extend, push the inner pistons underneath the already powered lines here, and they receive the signal and extend. And that's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. It's, as I said, quite simple to build. And let's talk about the funny little stuff around the whole thing that I've built here, right? Okay, so before we'll talk about all that crazy stuff around the door, we'll talk about why we don't need these torches down here to power these lower pistons here. And let's go over here for that explanation. And what happens is, when you have a normal piston and a redstone line above it, like this, and you power the redstone line, then the piston gets powered, of course, right? And when we remove the power, the piston retracts, of course. That's just pretty simple because it's normally powered. But when we place the redstone line one block higher, like this, and power it, this piston actually does receive the signal. It gets powered, but it doesn't notice that it's powered, so it stays retracted. And that turns it into a BUD, a block update detector. And what it does is it detects block updates, because whenever we update one of the 6 neighboring blocks of this piston, the piston gets updated, because when we place a block, all 6 neighboring blocks get updated as well. And that includes this piston, if you place it, for example, here. And then the piston gets updated, and it notices that because of the update, it notices that it's powered and extends. Right? And now it says extended, of course, because it's powered. But if we remove the line, the power from the line, it is not powered anymore. But again, it doesn't notice it, so it turns it into a BUD switch once again. And when we power it now, when we provide a block update now, it turns back. It retracts. And what we have in the door is that we have 2 pistons above each other, like this, and then the line. And this turns the lower block into an instant BUD switch, because when this line gets powered, it turns this one into a BUD switch, right? And it also, at the same time, powers this one normally. And when this one extends, it provides a block update to this block. So the line gets powered, that one gets turned into a BUD, that extends and instantly fires this BUD. And that's why they both extend and retract at the same time. The reason why I built the torches down here, though, is future-proof, because this BUD behavior that I've shown you is actually a bug, and it may get fixed in a future version of Minecraft. And when that happens, a door without these torches wouldn't work anymore. A door with these torches, like this one, although does work. So yeah, that's why I'm usually building these torches down here, just for safetyness, just so I don't have to update my doors when these BUD switches get fixed, right? And yeah, okay, so usually you want to be able to open and close your door with buttons or something, right? Because here we need a constant input to make the thing open, and a constant, well, not input, kind of, to make it close, right? Or to keep it open and keep it closed, I should say. And what I have here is I just have a button, so a pulse signal, and the door opens and closes whenever I push this button or do the thing with the chest over there. And for that, we simply need a T flip-flop. And what a T flip-flop is, it pretty much turns buttons into levers. So a T flip-flop has 2 states, on and off, or input 1 on, input 2 on. But this T flip-flop will only have 1 output, so we only have the states on and off. And whenever it receives a pulse, it turns. It switches between these states. So how you build it is pretty simple. You just dig a hole right next to the redstone line here. Place a torch down there. Place a block next to there. And then use a fucking normal piston. Damn it. And place one there and one there. So this piston pushes the block over that torch, and that piston pushes the block away into the position where it's right now. Now you want to put 2 blocks up there, put a place over this piston, above that piston, and above that piston. Of course, this piston doesn't extend because that's already extended. And then you just put a redstone line there. And now, whenever you're providing a pulse to this line here, this thing switches. Okay, so I hooked this line here up to a button right here. I had to mess around with this a little bit to make sure that these lines don't interfere with each other. You cannot, at least I believe you cannot put a line here because that would interfere with the piston, and that's not intended, so you need to go in like this. And now you can see, whenever we push this button, you can see that thing flips and the door opens, and when we push it again you can see that thing flops, kind of flip-flop, huh? Very funny. And the door closes again. But of course we can add multiple buttons to the same T flip-flop, so we would just put a button here, and whenever we push this one, the door opens as well. And what I did is I replaced this button with a chest there. So if I push this button, you'll notice that the T flip-flop will activate when the line turns off. And that's what I'm using. So we have a chest here, a block behind that, and then a comparator. And when we put something in here, the comparator gives out a signal. When we take it out, the comparator loses the signal again. Oops. Damn. And now we just want to make this. This repeater is just for increasing the signal strength, because this has only a signal strength of 1 if I put one item in, and we need the signal to go all the way up to here, right? So that's what the repeater is for. And now when we put something in, the line turns on, and nothing happens, of course. And when we take it out, the line turns off and the door activates. And that's pretty much it. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you want to see more videos of this kind, subscribe to my channel. And see you next time. Goodbye.